Are we beginning the meeting?
No.
Because I just started to
Don't have
record.
a-
Okay.
don't just, it's just me. It's just me, but I was just off the record here, talk that, no, where is it here? The PCAC Valley line is already since September, and it's RSD, and they're expecting to be in RSD in December for the Port Jervis line, which is like punch time for me. I mean, the other railroads have been in ERSD for months and months, if not over a year, but they're expected to have it by next month. That's the update on that.
Andy, you're muted.
No, I'm just thinking of something. That's all. I'm just doing research on a Metro North topic.
Oh,
Did you watch the New Jersey Transit Board meeting last night?
Last night, it's tonight.
Is it tonight? No, I'm not doing it tonight.
I'm not doing it because there was a miscommunication problem.
Yeah, sure, it is tonight. What was the miscommunication problem?
Well, I tried to speak tonight for the public speaking.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I accidentally didn't type yahoo.com for my email address.
Mm.
So next time I have to be careful and make sure that the computer doesn't have yaho.com.
I have typed my wrong name, my wrong email address too many times.
Well, now the consequence is going to happen in December because I have to wake up early on December 9th. So
Let me try Richard Home.
Okay. And you know that the and Walter and Gob, you know that the MTA board meeting will be held next Wednesday, which is the 18th, and therefore public testimony is oh, Jim Cameron's joining us. Public testimony will be given on Monday.
I have it on my calendar, and I know Wednesday is the day we find out fiscal year 2021. So I'll be on standby for that.
Great. Hi, Jim.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Hey, Jim Cameron, how are you?
Hey, Randy, how's it going?
All right, he should be joined us very shortly.
Well, since the meeting hasn't yet started, perhaps I can introduce myself. I don't think any of you know me, except Randy knows me probably all too well. But I'm Walter Zulig, and to the best of my knowledge, County Executive George Latimer from Westchester has nominated me to this august body. However, it's sitting up in the governor's office somewhere, and nobody knows quite where. So meanwhile, I'm sitting on the sidelines here.
Walter, you are 100% correct. You continue apace, as they say.
Okay.
And in fact, I just checked this week, and was told that you continue. But they didn't say you continue apace, but that is that is what I gleaned from their. I inferred from their obscuring their obscure language.
Okay, thank you.
I'm actually my next hour. I have to call Joan McDonald and ask her to move things along.
It's been a few years now, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first started, your name was up. That was about 3 years ago.
Yes. However, they had
it's been a while.
right, but they had
Yeah.
Did Rob Astorino initially put you up?
No, Rob did not put me up.
Okay.
Francis Corcoran.
Right.
Francis husband was a legislator in White Plains and he was allowed to do it. And, I just sent you a message,
So
Lisa.
thank you. I hope you clarified that you needed him after he got out of the shower.
Oh, what do you want to do? Unbelievable.
Okay, Walter, I've made a note.
I feel I have to apologize. Lisa and I were at a breakfast and Melissa DeRosa, what's her, Melissa DeRosa?
Rosa?
DeRosa,
Rosa,
she was
right.
there, and I was right face to face with her, and it never occurred to me that I should have told her to get these appointments moving. So I apologize for not having done that.
So, Jerry Brinkman and I, pardon me, Jerry Brinkman and I had a Zoom meeting with the governor's representatives on Long Island. I'm going to set those up for us, for the Hudson Valley. And maybe that will help. Because it couldn't hoit, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, hang on. I'm getting an urgent text from somebody regarding the Metro North train time app. As soon as I get it, I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, there's going to be it's Monday at 12:30 White Plains. It's going to be relaunched.
Oh, here we go. Metro North sent email alerts saying the app was having issues.
Mhm.
Well, that was yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday, yep.
Yeah.
They've
Oh, sorry,
corrected that.
Randy. Were you saying something about White Plains?
Yeah, on Monday afternoon, they're going to have a press event to relaunch the app with the upgraded features like the Long Island Railroad has.
All right, I will text our vice president right now. Thank you.
Breaking news in the last half an hour.
Yes. I did get that from Tony.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's that Tony that you probably know, Tony Greco, Walter.
Yeah. Oh, I know Tony.
Yes, and I'll also let our Long Island Railroad Regional Director know about this as well. Tell Charlton tonight.
Oh, this is the longest we ever had to wait to start.
Right.
When you already start off with 40% not attending it, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, Francis.
Oh, good.
Great.
All right, Francis. Oh, nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Hey everyone. Apologies
Hello.
for being late.
All right, we're waiting. You're not the last one. We're waiting for Rich.
Yeah, I see you're waiting for your train in the background there, Randy.
Where was the picture taken?
M7A.
No, Francis, where's the picture taken? What station?
Hey.
It's your neck of the woods.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to blow it up here. I don't have my glasses on me, but I could say maybe Katona?
No, closer.
Closer.
White Plains North.
Oh, yeah.
Was that when we were up there?
That's not north enough.
That was the day we had the press event with Senator Gillibrand. We were asking for federal money. It never came.
No, it hasn't come yet.
You're right. Yeah. Don't blame her.
Okay,
We only have two. Can we start a meeting with just two?
you can start a meeting. You just can't
You can't approve anything, right?
thank you. Right, we have to,
All
I
right.
just started new allergy medicine, so I'm a little muddled. I apologize.
I
So-
know what you were saying.
Thank you.
Till we get Rich, welcome to the November, so our last meeting of the year. And next month will be PCAC on December the 5th, I think it is, December 3rd,
December
Thursday, 3rd.
Third,
And
yes.
it'll be virtual again. So the minutes were sent out, but you can't approve them, but we have the agenda. So my chair's report went out. I don't have anything, I could add one thing. We did have the PTC working group this morning, and there had been a proposal by one of the members of one of the other board members last month that since we're doing so well, that maybe we don't need to have a meeting in December. And I said I was waiting for them to bring it up, which of course they did. And I said, absolutely, we have to meet. We have still, a couple of things that are not 100%. Well, I didn't say it, but there's a couple of open items. And besides, we still don't, have a guarantee about West of Hudson. So West of Hudson, the key thing for PTC is that the lines are in what they call Extended Revenue Service Demonstration, or ERSD. Metro North ERSD is history. I mean, you've been running trains in Metro North. I can't even tell you. They have my glasses on here. There's a special slide for that. Okay, here it is. The entire system is under PTC except for the Waterbury, which has an exemption, but by next year, Waterbury will have it too. All trains for Hudson and Harlem lines and Danbury branch are operating with full PTC functionality. Over 142,500 revenue trains ran in full PTC mode between the August of last year and October 2020. Amtrak trains are interoperable on the Hudson and New Haven lines. CSX and P&W freights are interoperable on the Hudson and New Haven lines and the Danbury branch. And then they've commissioned all of the boundaries between Poughkeepsie and Poughkeepsie for CSX going north, Spike and Dival for Amtrak going south, New Rochelle for Amtrak, New Haven, Amtrak, and that takes care of that part of it. Upcoming, well, there's just little technical things over there that you need to, more. PCAC, that's so you're right now. It looks like Metro North is gold. They're solid. On the west side of the Hudson, where I am, the extended ERSD has been in effect since September on the New Jersey and New York Railroad, otherwise known as the PCAC Valley Line, and Horace Banter trustee.
That's right.
And on the Port Jervis line, they're hoping to get it to ERSD in December. I mean, it's like it was 95 miles, Walter?
Yes.
Yeah, 95 miles, and they're going to get it in 1 month. I mean, that's all right. And we hope that they can do it. And that's that. Oh, who do we have here? We have.
I'm sorry, I got knocked out with somebody calling me.
Oh, okay. So that takes care of that part. I did look at the ridership on Metro North because I said they were updating. It's a constantly changing thing. So as the latest they posted was Monday, they were down 78%. But the weekends, for some reason, seem to be much better for ridership. It's down 58% and 56%. So they're doing better on weekends. And I confirmed that. I went to New York on Monday with the Hudson line, and I was speaking with one of the crews, and he said, yeah, there's a lot more ridership on the weekends than there is during the week. So that part of it is good.
Yeah, I think that's what Kathy Rinaldi said, is that people aren't traveling to work, they're traveling for other reasons, right? So the railroad has to be sort of creative in ways to lure people back.
Lisa, I want to mention that probably the ridership will start to go up once you have the holiday sites set up in the city, because I can confirm that Rockefeller Center, they're delivering the tree today.
Yep.
And Macy's back on Tuesday confirmed they are going to have a holiday display at Herald Square. So Randy, I would expect the numbers to slowly tick up once we hit the holiday season.
So I just happened to look at the Bridges and Tunnels, which is one of our agencies. And on Monday, the traffic compared to the same date in 2019 was only off by 9%. So they're almost all back up to full, just like everyday travel on the bridges and tunnels. What else was there? So if there's any questions,
I was gonna say my daughter rides the train frequently, and she says, for the most part, you know, at least on the Metro North, the Harlem line, she says she's surprised how full the train is, you know, and she takes it at sort of different hours.
Well, I rode the 901 Express out of Tarrytown on Monday, and the car I rode in, it was in the middle of the train. The best way to describe it is that every 2-seat and 3-seat side, the 2 and the 3, each had one person in it. So it was just, I think I got like the last vacant row in that particular, where in the first half of the car I was in, because I like to ride forward. I don't like to ride backwards.
Right.
So I have nothing else on that. We're still waiting for the, we're going to have we had this morning, whatever, that's like, I forget how, 3 meetings already today. We had the PTC one this morning, then Lisa and I and the executive committee met to talk about the report that Sheila wrote. So if you want to briefly talk about it, we can. If we don't,
Absolutely. Sheila has spent a lot of time working on a white paper.
She spent her life on it.
But yeah, starting in April, which is like so long ago. Sheila's been working on a white paper called Getting Riders Back on Board. And basically, it's looking at different ways to, when she first started, I was like, well, what would it take to get Sheila Benesh to get back on a train? Sheila has been back on a train, but she's done a ton of research into best practices on other systems and what the MTA is doing and what else making recommendations about other things they could be doing. A lot of it is in the context of funding that they don't have. And Sheila developed a list of questions, and we reached out to Metro North and the Long Island Railroad and just had, I think, a really productive conversation with the president of those operating agencies. Sheila, I have spoken. Why don't you speak a little bit more about your white paper and next steps?
So yeah, we're going to be meeting with each of the agency presidents virtually, of course, to discuss the paper. And basically it is goes over things that would make riders feel safe to return to taking transit or the train. Some things like cleaning, face coverings, giving riders more information about their trip, for example, about crowding, or cleaning last cleaned, increasing transparency in the rider dashboards, improving bus service. So just a bunch of things to make riders feel safe, and giving them the information to take a trip that they feel comfortable with in terms of social distancing.
Although both of the presidents talked about how they hope one day soon people won't be able to social distance, but yeah, it's going to take a lot to get enough people back on board for that to happen.
Well, if someone really, really wants to have space on their train, they have the information that will allow them to make that decision.
Yes.
There are probably some people that need that, but most people, just giving them the information puts them in a better place to take the train and to plan the trip.
And one of the really cool things that Metro North is doing, in addition to launching this app that will show many of the things that the Long Island Railroad's train time app does, in, with crowding and historical crowding data, is they will be looking, here comes Rich, they will be looking at, as part of this hackathon, incentivized spread out ridership. So basically, oh, the 3 o'clock is always crowded, so we'll incentivize you to take 2 o'clock instead. So we thought that was really neat. We're looking forward to getting more information about it. And one of the really neat things about this conversation also was that it allowed the Long Island Railroad to hear more about it. And we said, gee, Long Island Railroad, or LUR, as I said, is that something that you're going to consider too? So they talked a bit about what they're doing, and said that they would speak to their counterparts too. So that, I think,
Welcome,
is
Rich. Nice to
welcome,
see you,
Rich.
Rich.
And it was actually Kathy Rinaldi who said that, riders are not necessarily afraid to get back on board. Not all riders are necessarily afraid, although certainly some are, but many need a reason. So they have to be thoughtful and creative and find ways to attract people back to the system. Which we're talking about a white paper that Sheila has been spending an inordinate amount of time on, called Getting Riders Back on Board. And we're hoping for a December 1 release.
I'm late, thank you.
So we will share that
We're
with you
looking good,
before
Rich.
it goes out.
So I kind of
Yes.
jumped around here. There's also tomorrow we're meeting. It's at 2 o'clock, I think. We have is it 12 o'clock? I think it's 12. Metro North COVID. That's actually it's not involving other people. They did a COVID travel study, and so the Joint Committee, Long Island Railroad Metro North board members are invited virtual meeting to get the results of it and for them to go over it with us. So that'll be tomorrow.
Randy, will the Long Island Railroad be doing something similar? That would be a great question to find out.
Okay, I can ask that.
Thank you. We have the LRRCC meeting this evening. We can ask, but it would be that was sort of buried in the board book on page 63 or something like that last month. They should be proud of that.
Lisa, do we have the information to dial into that or to get into that? Do you know?
No, I'm not. We're not. I'm not. I think that's a board meeting.
Oh, just board
board
members.
But the thing for tomorrow,
Yeah.
yeah, it's for board members.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It's a COVID survey briefing for the committee, for the Metro North Committee.
Gotcha.
Put on your spyware on your eyeglasses, Randy, and record that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be tomorrow. Financial crisis. Well, everybody knows how bad it is. Everybody was hoping that the new incoming administration. So it happened, but you need the approval of both houses of Congress to get it done. And so far, it doesn't look like the Senate is at all interested in doing anything for places like us. In fact, one of my friends I was speaking to the other day happened to mention, says that the Long Island Railroad and Metro North had applied for federal funding and they're getting it, but the Transit Authority didn't apply. And it just sat in the back of my head. But during this meeting we had before, it wasn't that the Transit Authority didn't apply. They were deemed, what was the term they used for that?
Anarchist jurisdiction.
Anarchist jurisdiction. You and I had a back and forth email exchange with other people about it. So until that gets lifted, the Transit Authority can't apply for COVID funding. So
Wow.
Yeah.
It may get overturned in the courts, but the MTA didn't want to harm the railroad's opportunity to get a grant.
So anyway, the final. We're having a board briefing. It was supposed to actually be this afternoon after this meeting, but that got pushed off to next Monday. So it'll be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, whatever it is. I'm getting done with all these meetings here. It'll be Monday afternoon, and the board meeting is on Wednesday afternoon. So I think we kind of got an update about the new members from earlier. I was on the phone at the time, and so there's
Yes,
no news.
I'm going to follow up with County Executive Latimer's office. The
Right,
news
you
on-
did mention Joan McDonald.
Yes.
Mhm.
And we have to follow up with, I did get information from Mark Mannix regarding someone to follow up with on Putnam County.
Okay.
Because
You know,
there is-
that seat has been vacant since Neil left it in June of 2016, over 4 years.
So the quandary is that Mary Ellen Odell, I think, has 2 years left. So if she had 1 year left, I would say wait till the new county executive comes in, because it was going to take at least a year to fill it. Since it's 2 years, it's probably worth pursuing.
Yeah, and we're not subject to the governor's ruling on this committee. So it
Right.
doesn't, the council, so it doesn't matter.
Right, but it's still, if they don't, the candidacy goes with the recommender. So for instance, like the Queensborough president had 2 people who were in the pipeline, but when the Queensborough president left to become the Queens DA,
Right.
there was no longer a recommending elected official. So that, I'm concerned that that's going to happen in the Bronx when Ruben Diaz Jr. leaves. So I need to also reach out to Marisol and ask her to push
Maybe she can get
the Bronx
Willem.
VP.
And also
Oh.
Willem, our shortest time member we ever had, Willem Rhonda
Right.
back.
Right.
Well, Randy, just for the record, George Latimer is up for re-election next year, so that can be decided all next November, obviously.
Yeah, but
they-
we're not subject to that.
Right.
Only it's only on a board you're and not the people like me. It's the regular the voting board members. They're the ones whose term expires with the person who appointed them, who had recommended them. Governor appoints everybody.
Because Rhonda Herman was appointed by George Latimer. I know that.
No, she was appointed by the governor.
Oh, I
the
thought.
They-
And how come on the MTA website it says appointed, suggested by Westchester County Executive?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's why I'm wrong. My bad.
Even I'm appointed by the governor. I'm recommended by this council.
Right.
This council recommended me, and the governor everyone is appointed by the governor.
And
but
I'm
you
only
are
bringing up
recommended by-
Rhonda because whenever the committees come back, she's going to be co-chairing with Kathleen Rinaldi. That's
She
why I
is-
only brought her up.
Yeah, she had recommended me to be the co-chair since I've been there longer and I have the experience, but she was told that non-voting board members can't be vice chairs or co-chairs.
But that was nice of her, though.
Yeah.
The other thing is, because Rhonda is a board member as opposed to a council member, it's a bit of a different track.
Hmm.
So the governor gets what the governor wants.
Mhm. All right, I don't have anything else, so let me go around. Francis, do you have anything you want to ask?
Did we need to make any motions to approve the
Yes, we
minutes,
should do that.
agenda,
Oh,
and all that
I'll-
while we have everybody
motion.
clear?
All right, I'll
So I'll make
second it.
I'll make a motion. Did you make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
I'll do that.
I'll second that.
All in favor, aye.
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 Okay, thank you. And the agenda for today, I move that. Anyone second?
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
All in favor?
I'll be an aye.
Okay, so that takes care of all that. So we've got the housekeeping out of the way. We're a legitimate meeting. And Rich, do you have anything you want to add?
Not really, other than about 6 months ago, I brought up the Woodbury Station,
Okay,
and it's there's a development there, the Harriman transit oriented, and
Right.
that's coming up on the agenda again. So I did send a packet about 4 months ago. Was that sent to the members?
It's sitting on my desk in my office. I will make copies. I'm going to be in my office tomorrow.
Okay, so when I get the updated copy, I'll send it to you and you can distribute it.
Okay.
Good.
Do you want me to send the, do you want me to send the old one as well?
Well, if they didn't read it, it's pretty interesting reading
Okay.
what's planned, yeah. It's,
Okay.
it's like, just real short, it's, the Transit City is for about 1,500 residents and a hotel at the Harriman train station. And the developer apparently has the money to do it, so,
What, the existing Harriman station?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the Harriman Oriented Transit City. And
Okay.
there's over 100 acres next to Harriman train station, and that's where he wants to develop it.
Okay.
You think that's still going to happen?
You know, things like this, I've been on the planning board 17 years here. So I've been here when everything started to develop, like even the Woodbury Mall, the outdoor mall. But it takes time. Something like this takes 5 years, takes about 2 years to get approved by the planning board and probably 3 years to 4 years to build. But
So, but how does that involve Metro North? Are they gonna do anything to the station?
well, they're not gonna do anything till they see, you know, does it get preliminary approval
Oh,
from, yeah, once it gets preliminary approval, then they get involved, but there's no interest now because it's still a concept.
you know, Warren was always pushing for them to do something at Woodbury Commons itself, where the stores are, to build a station. Yeah, that would be beneficial because it would take a lot of cars off the road and definitely give a boost to Metro North ridership.
Yeah, so it is interesting reading. So Lisa, if you can send it out, because the concept plan, I don't think is going to change.
I will. I think that what I'll do though is scan it.
Yeah.
And send it that way because by email, unless it's very large. Because
Yeah, Lisa, I would like to read Sheila's thing that she mentioned as well. So
okay, yeah, but that's still in a draft form, Andy. But
All right,
we're not.
thank you.
All right, Andy, we're not talking about that at this moment, though. Rich, if that's okay, I'm going to send that out as a scan.
Okay.
Just and we'll post it on the website though. But because the mail situation in the office is because we're not there every day. When they come in, they drop like this much stuff,
Yeah.
and then they like run away, and so they don't always take things.
Okay.
So, I will be in there tomorrow. So good. Thank you for reminding me that.
All right, so
Randy,
Gav,
do you want to talk about the ADA task force meeting?
Me?
Yeah,
You said
you were
me?
there.
Yeah, it was just more or less an introductory. Everyone from all the Hudson Valley counties were involved in it, and Metro North was there, and they talked about the needs that everyone has. And there was nothing approved. It's just like a welcome get together, and the next meeting will be on February 1st. If I missed something important, please, Lisa, you were there too. You can feel free.
I was. You were more of an active member, and it was real. It was representatives from the different towns and counties talking about the potential needs and constraints. Lots of constraints related to funding with ADA, but a lot of needs. So, and suffering was brought up. So that was covered. But it's a kickoff. There's I guess been an informal ADA office with Metro North for some time, so they're formalizing that a bit. Francis, did you get enough for everybody?
I only got enough for myself. I was being a bit piggish.
That's okay.
Yeah,
It
apologies.
smells delicious.
Oh my God, I didn't know you had smell around there too.
What is it?
Sesame chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm starving.
You're tempting me to go out and there's gloom and doom.
All right. Gav, you've been sitting there so nicely. I mean, if you'd like to have anything you'd like to add to us?
No, I've just been enjoying listening, but maybe next time I'll prepare a little something.
You don't have to. I just thought something might strike you. Okay.
Well, she's a Yonkers resident. She lives on the line.
I do.
Yeah.
I live on the border. I have been riding the bus and the subway and the train, all three, a lot lately. And I live closest to the Riverdale station. It's like a 25-minute walk. So when I want to go on a walk and I take it off peak, it is pretty empty.
I think it's all off-peak fares.
Yeah, but off peak hours, even
Oh.
though what is that even? Yeah, it's been pretty empty on the Metro North, but the bus is always completely full, at least where I am at the border of Yonkers and the Bronx. So that's been interesting. I think most people around me are taking the bus all the time, but the subway and the train less.
You mean the Beeline or the city bus?
Both. I've been taking the Beeline and the city bus. People who live in my neighborhood, since we can take both.
Right.
So a lot of the time, if you're getting off of the one and you want to go a certain way, you can take either and they'll stop at mostly the same stops. I prefer to take the Beeline because it'll take me a little further into Yonkers, but yeah, most of the same people I see on both.
Okay. Walter, you have anything you want to add?
COVID friends.
Well, the only thing is I listened with interest to the talk about Woodbury Common and having a station there perhaps. And God knows it must be 15 years ago that Metro North had a project for that. It had been negotiated with the owners of the mall there. It was a very difficult negotiation and finally reached an agreement. And then came Black Friday. Now this must have been in 2001. And Black Friday 2001, it was after 9/11, and everybody, well, the mall people didn't think anybody would come shopping on Black Friday, and so they didn't have many security people around, and it was gridlock. Some people allegedly took 3 hours to get out of that parking lot on Black Friday, and the town got so angry about it that they absolutely forbade us to do anything to build a station there. We thought that would have been a great thing because during off periods of time, we could use it for commuter parking, and days like Black Friday and around the holidays, of course, would be used for expansion parking for the mall. But so maybe that will come to pass eventually. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, you did tell me you were general counsel for Metro North.
Yes, at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was on the phone at the time, so I didn't get to listen to all your remarks. All right, let's see. We got Jim Cameron. You've been quiet. You have anything you want to add to us or a conversation?
No, thank you very much. I'm just enjoying watching you carry forth all your good efforts on behalf of riders. Everything is about the same up here in Connecticut.
Yeah.
We're having a hard time hearing you, Jim.
I'm sorry, does this sound any better?
We're having
You
a
should
hard time
come close.
hearing you.
Hold on one sec here. Can you hear me now?
Better.
Better. I was just saying I was enjoying listening to all your discussions, and the situation in Connecticut's pretty much the same as it is down there.
Okay. That's Mr. Commuter expert for Connecticut. He knows his stuff. Unfortunately, he's not where he really should be in the pecking order for the state of Connecticut. But there's nothing we can do about it. All right. As I said before, our next get together will be whenever the staff. I sent some recommended dates, so the staff will work on it and they'll send it out. And you'll get it. The next time we get together virtually will be December 3rd for the PCAC, the final meeting of the year. And so look forward to seeing all of you then. If nothing else, make a motion to adjourn.
So I'll second. And
Okay.
happy and blessed Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yes. Giving
Yes.
everyone.
Have a
Look
virtually and healthy Thanksgiving.
All right, Randy. Happy Thanksgiving, Lisa. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
later today for the Town Railroad.
All right. Thanks so
Okay,
much.
thank you,
Bye-bye
everybody.
all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.